Hi, friends. You're looking for a hearty meal for a cold winter's night? Stay tuned to this one because we're making a braised chicken, and I haven't decided if I'm going to use black rice, orzo, or vermicelli. What do you think? Let's see. So in this pot, I have the braised chicken reheating. I cooked this yesterday, got it nice and browned, put some chicken stock in the pot with some fresh herbs, and I put that in the oven for about an hour. And I'm just reheating, and I think I'm going to make some black rice with that, but doesn't that look good? It smells wonderful. I use some seasonings like salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, a little smoked paprika, some ground cumin, and what else did I put in there? Did I put any cayenne? I might have put a little bit of cayenne pepper, not too much, so it smells fabulous. Now, with reheating this chicken, this whole pot I put right in the fridge, so it was cold. So I put this on the lowest setting on my stove top. That's to not, just have a drastic uh, temperature range with this being ice cold. And I always get nervous that I'm going to crack my glass top. So I try to avoid that. Slowly warm this pot up. Then as it started to heat up a little bit, then I cranked the heat up to medium to just get that bubbling a little bit. And you can see that's bubbling nice. It smells wonderful. Now I do have 1 3/4 cup of water boiling, and we're going to put a little salt in there. And there's so many different ways you can really do this. You can use a different seasoning blend. You can go with like an Italian seasoning blend. I'm going to put a good teaspoon and a quarter in there. And we're going to put about, I think, 1 cup. So you can use your favorite black rice. And let's see, I don't have quite a cup. I've got closer to 3/4 a cup. That's okay. I've let this water boil a little bit and boil down, so I'm feeling confident that I don't have too much water in there. And the only thing is I did put a little extra salt, so if you end up having a little less, check that out first and then add your salt after so you don't overdo it on the salt. We're gonna put this down to a simmer. We're gonna leave that. I think this one is covered. Yeah, we're gonna cover it for 35 minutes. Now we can take that chicken and we can lower it down a little bit. And what gives it a nice flavor and color is when you brown it before you add your liquid. It just gives such a depth of flavor. And like I said, if we wanted to change this up with a different flavor profile, I would use some Italian seasonings like oregano, basil, thyme, uh, maybe a little red crushed pepper flakes. And then I certainly would serve that with um, maybe just the orzo. Um, and I'm going to make a little bit of orzo also to go with it because I want to have more than one dimension to that meal. So I think that's going to be nice. I don't have quite a full cup of black rice, so we'll add a little orzo to that. We've got the water to a rolling boil. I added a little salt to that. I didn't put as much salt as I might have because I did kind of a little over salted my black rice. So I'm going to put about 1/3 a cup of uncooked orzo. A little less than that because I went over a little more than 1/3, but let's just put that in there. This is about 1.5 quarts. Probably need about 5 quarts of water if you were going to do the whole pound of orzo, but we're not going to. And we'll check that back in about 3 minutes. That should cook up pretty quick. I've got less than 20 minutes for this, so I'm going to add some grape tomatoes to that pot. I had a bunch left over from the holidays, so I'm going to go ahead and put those in. And I'm just going to cut them in half. I'm going to go ahead and take these little herb stems out, because we're going to be adding some spinach, fresh spinach leaves to this. But I'm going to let these tomatoes cook a little bit. You don't want you want the spinach to cook down, but you don't want it mush. So let's turn that up a little bit. Now I did use a little bit of Mexican seasoning with ground cumin, but it's also kind of like an earthy feel to this dish, real rustic. You're just gonna love to have all that juice there. That'll be great if you have a crusty Italian or French bread, sourdough bread. Soak up that juice. Let's see, I got a few more I'm gonna put in there. Alright, put the lid a little bit just to cook those down a little bit. I put it on medium-high. Check my pasta, see how that's doing. About 3 minutes in, you want to give your pasta a little stir to make sure it's not sticking. Probably should take 10 or 12 minutes for this to just the right texture we want. Our orzo pasta is almost done. It's time to put the spinach leaves in here. And it looks like a lot, but this is probably like 2 cups, and it's going to cook down quite a bit. So don't get alarmed. Let's get in the juices. Oh, smells good. One nice addition to this too would be some maybe chopped scallions if we cooked up, sauteed some scallions ahead of time. Some mushrooms, that would have been really nice too. hot. Ooh. All right, let's turn that up a little bit. Let's drain the pasta. I believe it should be done by now. Oh, let's give it a taste. So it looks like it might need a little bit longer. Oh, let's see. It does need maybe one more minute. Now, if you were serving this for company, if you were having company over, you could put this in a nice big dish. Put your wild rice and your orzo, mix that together. I'm going to add a little bit of butter and a little olive oil. You can't see that, so let me come over here. But you're going to add a little butter, a little olive oil. That rice isn't quite done yet. Almost done. Put a little olive oil in there. And that's going to look so pretty. And you put that braised chicken on top of that. That's pretty easy. Ooh, it smells good. All right, so we got to wait for that rice. Now you could serve those separate if you wanted to. But we want something good and hearty to fill us up on those cold winter nights, right? And there we go. A nice hearty winter meal. I'm going to dish it up a little bit so you can see how pretty it looks. Taking my orzo, and I'm going to put my chicken right on there. Now my black rice isn't quite done, but I got to get this meal going. So we'll get this far. But like I said, I showed you that black rice. It still needs at least 8 minutes. So, and I don't have that time. So let's take some of our, and it's falling off the bone. Let's put a couple on here. Put some of the spinach and tomatoes. Doesn't that look so yummy? Let's get a spoon for some of the broth. And you can, if you're just serving this for the family, you can just serve it from the pot. This is just a little nice looking, even to put on the table for you and your hubby. Isn't that looking so inviting? It is to me. So we've got the orzo there, the braised chicken, like I said, ground cumin, salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, a little bit of cayenne, and a little bit of fresh thyme in there. Chicken stock, tomatoes, spinach, and lots of flavor. I wasn't able to, I'll try to come back to this video and put a little bit of the black rice in there because that's just going to give it a whole different flavor. So I've got my rice finally done, and I'm going to add that to the orzo. Now you can decide if you like it just like that and put the chicken on top. I definitely wanted that nuttiness of the black rice, so I'm going to try to, there's a little bit of liquid left in there. And that's kind of how that looks. A couple of thyme twigs there. I like the way that looks. I'm going to put some more in there. Like I said, you can either do just black rice or you can do orzo. This is a super nutritious dinner with the fresh spinach, black rice. Oh my gosh, I love the way that looks. Now, I have a few more pieces of chicken in the pot. I'm going to serve mine up like that because I already fed my husband. So now I'm going to go and put a nice bed of the orzo. That's beautiful to me. We do eat with our eyes too. So, and I can't wait to give that a try. I did sneak a little taste of the meat, and that was really good. Here, oh, I got to get a picture of that because, like, to me, that's so beautiful. Okay, let's get a fork out and give this a try. I thought even a little Parmesan cheese on top of here, or a little feta. That is good. You know what? This black rice, I could have cooked it a little bit longer. I said 35 minutes, which that's on the package, but I need, it's a little bit on the al dente side. Let's try the chicken. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Now this hearty winter meal really will take you probably an hour, hour and a half. If you go ahead and braise your chicken, put all the seasoning, the stock, everything, put it in the oven. Takes you about 45, 50 minutes, give or take, maybe up to an hour. You can cook your rice and your orzo while that's in the oven. So that once it's done cooking, now the last minute, you got to give yourself a few minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, because you put it on the top of the stove and then because I reheated mine, you put your spinach in there. I put tomatoes in there at the last minute. You could take it out of the oven 15 minutes prior, put all those things, put your cover back on, and put it back in the oven. Now I just wish I had some crusty bread for that broth, but I'm trying to give up a lot of bread because the holidays I eat too many Christmas cookies. So, but this will warm you up. Let me know what you think. I gotta go sit down and get cozy with a blankie. And I'm gonna watch a little TV and have my dinner. That's the nice thing about when your kids grow up. You can sneak off to the couch and watch a little TV while you eat dinner. So, but this is a great meal to sit around the table with your family too. So and be cozy inside where it's nice and warm in the house. Now, if you want to catch more of my recipes, go ahead and follow me here. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm on TikTok and YouTube, and I have tons of videos from appetizers, lots of desserts, dinners. I said appetizers, brunch, you name it, I got it. Go ahead and check it out and see if there's something in there that you'd like to try. Also, hope you enjoyed this recipe.